There is a sudden rush of buybacks on DalalStreet. Now call it coincidence or just action and reaction, as many as 7 buyback proposals have either been announced or are to be announced in the next few days. Now there may be triggers behind this as well. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in her budget speech last week proposed that the income received via share buybacks will now be taxed at the hands of the shareholder instead of the company, similar to how dividends are taxed. Now some market participants worried that such a move may be counterproductive for the industry and for the concept of a buyback altogether. Now let's take a look at some of the upcoming announcements. Indus Towers' board meets as early as today. This will be their first share buyback in 8 years. TTK Prestige will consider its buyback proposal on the 2nd of August, Savita Oil on the 3rd, Serra Sanitary Ware on the 5th and AIA Engineering on the 7th of August. Aurobindo Pharma, whose buyback was approved before the budget announcement, has its record date today, which is the 30th of July. Welspun Living also announced its buyback last week after the budget, and the record date for that has been fixed as the 5th of August. Now, this sudden rush of buybacks has put the spotlight on India's IT companies, who regularly announce buybacks to reward their shareholders. Now, the SEBI regulation mandates that there needs to be a cool-off period of at least 365 days between the two buybacks. Now, let's take a look at how they are placed as of date. TCS, India's largest IT services company, carried out a buyback as early as last year. Can it announce another one before the 1st of October, before the changes kick in? No, it can't. And that's because the board approval for the previous buyback came on the 20th of October 2023, which means that it will have to wait at least until October 20th, 2024 to seek board approval for another buyback. Now, Infosys also carried out a buyback last year, but unlike TCS, it is eligible to carry out a new buyback as its previous one ended in February of last year, meaning that the 12-month cool-off period has passed. HCL Tech has not carried out a buyback since 2018. It can do so if it wishes to now. Wipro is also eligible for a buyback because its previous one ended in June of last year. Tech Mahindra has also not done a buyback in 5 years, and LTI Mindtree has not done a buyback to begin with. So even they are eligible for the same. Now, besides these IT companies, there are many others on DalalStreet that regularly announce share buybacks. I am highlighting some of them here. Ajanta Pharma is the first one. Now, in the last 5 years, the company has carried out buybacks in the last 4 of them, and most recently in 2024 as well. Now, since the board approval for the most recent one happened in May, it will have to wait until May of 2025 to announce another buyback if need be. IndiaMart is also a company that has regularly rewarded shareholders either via bonuses, stock splits or buybacks. Even they have done so in 22 and 23. Now, the board approval for the last buyback came on July 20th, 2023, which makes it eligible for another buyback. And lastly, Aarti Drugs, which also carried out buybacks in 5 previous instances. And similar to IndiaMart, the board approval for the most recent one happened on the 21st of July 2023, which also makes it eligible for a fresh one. So this is summarizing the recent spate of buybacks on DalalStreet. It remains to be seen whether more companies join this buyback bandwagon.